either way. I mean, as for Ghana, I'm not surprised because it's like they are just picking up from what happened in Cameroon in 2022. It's like nothing has changed in terms of the way the team is playing, in terms of the general attitude. It's a really difficult situation, and I don't know what Chris Hughton is going to do because when you have to play Egypt and Mozambique in your last two games, you know you're in for a very difficult time. The quality of the match we saw between Egypt and Mozambique tells us that neither opponent will be easy for the Black Stars. It was so important that they won their opening game. But then no different. They lost to Comoros in Cameroon. They're losing to Cape Verde here. So it's like, as I said, nothing has changed.
Why do you think Ghana has sunk this low, especially at the AFCON? We've only won one game in 10.
It's an unacceptable record for a country that has won the AFCON four times. But if you also consider the fact that Ghana has not won an AFCON in 42 years, it also tells you that there are many deep questions in Ghanaian football that need to be answered by those who are responsible for the management of football in Ghana. I mean, Sadiq, you have a situation where over the last 2 years, you've gone through four trainers: CK Akuno, Milovan Rajevac, Otto Addo, and now Chris Hughton. How can you have a Black Stars perform well in this type of situation? It is ridiculous that the change of managers, the casualty rate of managers for the Black Stars is indicative of the level of confusion in the management of football in Ghana.
Well, lastly, what would be your advice to them? You are a Nigerian, though, but you follow African football religiously and you know and understand the Ghanaian terrain as well. What would be your advice in terms of transforming the Black Stars?
Eh, First of all, to change the national team, you have to start with the GFA itself, the management of football overall in Ghana, because you can't separate the state of the national team from the state of Ghanaian football in general. As you know very well, the Ghana Premier League is in a bad shape. The teams, and it's not only Ghana, but teams around the continent seem to be relying so much on diasporan players to even compete, which means that the job of developing football in your country, the job of having a viable football industry in your country that will produce the type of players we saw. I mean, Abedi Pele came from Real Tamale United. Anthony Yeboah came from Okwahu United. Where are those type of players in Ghana today? Why is Ghanaian football not producing these type of players? These are the questions that must be answered, and they can only be answered when those who are responsible for the governance of football in Ghana are competent, they are honest, and they are alive to their responsibility.
Thank you. Okay, so Laurent, you spoke about Ghana.
Yes.
You've met them a couple of times in the
Yes.
AFCON, and so many years, over 42 years, they've not won it. Why do you think has been this?
Yeah, but it's unfortunate because if you notice how many times they've been in the final for the past years and losing by penalties, so those are things that you cannot control. So I think Ghana is close to win another one, and if they won it here and their neighborhood, I think that will be an amazing story for them. So that's all the best I can wish to Ghanaian. I think Ghana is the figure of African football, and they deserve to be in the top. So let's hope for them.
For your country, Ivory Coast, they've not hosted the AFCON for such a long time. How different has this been, and do you think they've missed it? Reason why it's been very important, and the fans are cheering their teams up.
Yeah, because for many time now, Ivory Coast wanted to host the AFCON. We didn't have the chance to be part of that, being a player and playing home. It's a lot of pressure, but it's a positive pressure because you're playing in front of your family and friends. I'm happy for the new generation because they get to experience they get to experience the peak of football, the best of football, African Cup. Playing home ground is a great experience that any footballer in his career can offer him.
Solomon, what memories does this tournament currently bring to you since you are hosting it after a very long time?
Many memories. You know, it was a tough time in 2012 when we lost against Zambia. And then it was a great time when we won in 2015, unfortunately against Ghana. Okay. But that's football, you know. African Cup is for all African players, you know. Winning a certain trophy for your country, it's not the same as winning a trophy for your club. You have much more meaning because of what you bring to your own people and what they see you as a figure. Today, every time I go around, people talk about the 2015 Cup because you know it was something meaningful for them.
Est-ce que tu as vu le...
So that's the assessment of the two. First, the Ivorian ex-footballer Solomon Kalou, formerly of Chelsea, and then seasoned journalist Osasu from Nigeria, based in London. An assessment of the Ghana national team and the reason why the team has sunk this low. But of course, there are very key lessons in there that we all can take in our attempt to bring back the support for the team and also bring back the Black Stars that we all loved. Ghana plays against Egypt on Thursday, which is a very crucial game for the Black Stars, and we all understand the magnitude of this game. We cannot afford to exit the group stages for the second successive time. We cannot afford. It will further be a bigger dent on the image of the Black Stars, and we will further sink very low. Reason why there should be a very cautious approach to this game. There should be some calmness around the team. You understand. There should be focus. The players should understand how important it is to at least go into this game to claim the 3 points. We should have the confidence of going to claim the 3 points, or at least a point. We just need to make it out of this group and then look forward to having a very tight a third game against Mozambique. My fear is not even about the Egyptian team. My fear has always been about the Mozambican team since the day I watched them against Egypt. They look very well organized. They are very composed. It's very hard to pick out a key player in the team. It's very hard to point to one person that you say is a mainstay of the team. That's how difficult it is to play against them. You cannot count on, or you cannot tip on one player to say that you are marking the player out. It's a complete team. They are very, when they hit the ground, very fluid and mobile. All the players are very agile, very strong, and their interpositional play is very incredible. I have my biggest fear coming up against Mozambique, a team like that, especially in this tournament where the so-called minnows are making mincemeat of the big guns. But we understand that from the Black Stars training grounds, Mohamed Kudus is recovering, or has recovered in time, or will recover in time, may put it that way, to face Egypt. The team medical officers are racing against time to get him fit, but the West Ham playmaker, we understand, has finally reached the level where he can feature or play some role for the Black Stars in Abidjan here. So definitely there will be a different approach, or there will be a change in approach for the team when we have Mohamed Kudus back, a player who can create chances and also contribute in terms of goal scoring. So we should be going into this game against the backdrop that we have not won. So we are playing this as the final of our tournament. If we fail to win the game, it will be very difficult for us to progress to the next level. Reason why we must all come together to insist on having focus and go into the game on Thursday to get the needed results.